There's nothing I love more than testing and trying brand new makeup brands, but there are still so many brands that I have my eye on that I've not been able to try. And I'm really, really hoping that 2025 is going to be the year that I get to try all of these brands. I have 10 makeup brands that I have not tried on this list. Some of them I have tried, but I want to go more in depth. I'll talk about them more later on in the video, but most of these brands I have not tried at all. I'm so curious and I really, really want to try them. So if you have tried any of these brands, please give me a mini review down below, because I would love to know what is the best thing to buy, what is the worst thing to buy. I really don't want to waste my money. So if you guys have some insider knowledge, let me know down below. This look is a look using my Vivette palette from Adept Cosmetics. It was a Get Ready With Me. It would have gone live on my channel a few days ago, talking about dating fails and just mindsets around things like that. I had a guy, absolute audacity, so definitely go and check that out after this video, of course. But just before we do jump into the video, if you have not already, definitely like and subscribe. I upload every single day here on my YouTube channel. I love bright, fun, colourful makeup, as you can probably tell. I do a lot of project pans, Get Ready With Me, little commentary kind of videos, all about makeup, beauty, all of that kind of stuff. I also have a very, very cute dog, so if you want to see that, definitely stay tuned. Okay, I'm going to jump straight into it because I think my voice is going to hurt after the end of this video because I have a lot to say. So, brand number one is a brand that I've had my eye on for a while, but for one specific reason, I have not bought from them. This is Blend Bunny Cosmetics. Now, up until recently, they've been doing palettes with rows of like the same color but different tones. So there'll be like a row of blues, there'll be a super deep blue, a bit of a lighter, a bit of a lighter, bit of a lighter, bit of a lighter, and it's like a gradient. I really enjoy that concept for a few palettes. After a while, I found that Blend Bunny have really started to get quite redundant, and I feel like their palettes started to all merge together to look very similar. I think they have 3 rainbow palettes in their range. You only need one. You only need one rainbow palette. Yes, the undertones were kind of different, but a rainbow palette's a rainbow palette. I was really like put off by that. However, recently they have come out with, I think it's called the plastic palette, and it's not like that at all. It's got 2 rows, a bit like the Anastasia layout, a bit like this layout, to be honest. 2 rows of colours that were not just gradients of each other. I feel like when you do a palette that's just gradients, you've basically done a 5-pan palette, you know, or however many colours there are at the top. You've basically just done a 5 or 6-pan palette and then just dragged it out. And I understand the concept of it, but you really don't need 4 mattes to blend a look. I've done this blend using 2 shades. I just wouldn't have used those shades. So I was really wanting to try this brand because I've heard so many people rave about the quality, and I know the quality is amazing. However, I feel like Blend Bunny they almost got into the P. Louise curse. P. Louise loves to just do 50 shades of the same blue with the slightest bit of undertone. They're not as bad as P. Louise. They're not as bad as the P. Louise curse, but Blend Bunny were a bit like, But now that they've started to do more interesting colour stories, I've definitely got my eye on them because I know the quality is amazing and I'm just itching to try them. I'm just sat here waiting pretty for a palette that speaks to me. I know the Lure palette really did speak to me, but I just didn't buy it at the time. So hopefully soon I'll be able to buy a Blend Bunny palette and add Blend Bunny to my makeup collection. Next is at Fantasy Cosmetica. I really want to try Fantasy Cosmetica. Actually, I have an idea for a makeup brand that I've had for like years, and one day I would love to start my own makeup brand. Fantasy Cosmetica kind of copied me. I love like fantasy, like Game of Thrones, and just reading any kind of fantasy. I absolutely love it, but I adore Fantasy Cosmetica. The whole like concept of it is so fun to me, having different characters for your different palettes. I mean, I'm a little bit salty, but you know what? They got there first, so good job. I'm not that mad. But I just really want to try their brand. Again, this is an American brand, so it's a little bit difficult to get here in the UK. A lot of these brands on this list, the reason why I haven't tried them before is because shipping and taxes cost a lot. So I've just kind of steered clear of them a little bit. But Fantasy Cosmetica, they have those beautiful duochromes, like intense indie shimmers. And everything that I've heard about them have been absolutely amazing and 10 out of 10. So I don't know, the whole concept, like I think it's so good because I thought of it as well. But I just find it so fun, and the color stories are different as well, not just a boring neutral palette. Absolutely amazing. I actually did dupe one of their palettes in one of my recent videos. It was duping all of the new eyeshadow releases with my little single eyeshadows, my magnetic ones. If you didn't see that video and you wanted to check it out, I will link it up in the cards. But that really made me want to try them even more, because at first glance, I didn't really like the palette. It was the yellow one that's just come out. But then when I saw it, I was like, oh my God, this is actually really, really pretty. So I don't know, I duped myself there. But let me know what your favourite palette from Fantasy Cosmetica is down below, because I'll definitely have to give that a go. Next might be a bit of a shock, because to be honest, it was a bit of a shock for me too when I was writing this brand down. But Charlotte Tilbury. Now I know this is my makeup aesthetic. This is not very Charlotte Tilbury. However, I've heard really, really good things about their powder and their bronzers, and also their lippies as well. I don't know, I just really am intrigued to try them. I don't know if this is just me being weird, but I really want to try one of their taupe eyeshadow palettes. Now, I love colour, I love this. However, I do wear taupes a hell of a lot. My Pan That palette this year is actually That's Taupe from Colourpop, and I've been absolutely loving it. I've made amazing progress on this over the past few months, and I really enjoy taupes if I'm going to be neutral. I do teach on the weekends, and I also have an office job, so I like to go kind of neutral for those days. So having a little, maybe like a quad or something, like really cool tone smoky shades, I think that would be up my street, I'm not gonna lie. I don't know, I feel like this brand could be a brand that I'm like pining over and then I try and that I hate. I'm fully aware that it probably could be one of those brands, but I don't know. They also did have a lipstick. I'm so sad that I missed out on this. It was called Miss Kensington. And when I was doing Legally Blonde, I played Vivienne Kensington, and I was looking for that lipstick for ages because I thought, what an amazing little like keepsake for that show. And unfortunately it was discontinued by the time I was doing Legally Blonde, so I'm actually gutted about that. So maybe there's a bit of FOMO there, I don't know, but I don't know. They did come out with those super colourful palettes recently, but I'm not paying £60 for a plastic packaging palette. Sorry, someone did actually message me about them and I couldn't do it. I could not pay that price for that presentation. I'm sorry. Ugh. But maybe I'll buy one of their like cheaper quads or like a lip product or some blushes or something like that. Again, leave your recommendations down below. Next is a brand not much talked about. I don't think so anyway. However, this is Sephora collection. The UK has recently got Sephora, which I'm so excited about because for the longest time, the UK did not have access to Sephora. It was more of a US or EU kind of brand. And then the UK was just like chilling on their own, you know? The only Sephora stores here are in like big cities. I live in a very, very small town. But I could still buy some Sephora collection online, or if I'm going for a shopping trip somewhere, there are Sephoras dotted around the country. Which, side note, I moved away from Liverpool not too long ago, like a year and a bit ago, and now there's a Sephora in Liverpool. I'm mad. But I've heard that they have really, really nice single eyeshadows, like really sparkly, duochromy, flecky kind of shades. So I'm really excited to try those as well. And I mean, just like everything in general, they're not that expensive. I found that they're kind of mid-range, which is really, really great, kind of mid-drugstore range. And I don't know, I've just never heard people talk much about them, and it's a brand that I'm really intrigued about. It's one of those like mysterious makeup brands almost that I'm just like, I'm eyeing. I'm like, are you good? Are you good? Because surely people would talk about them if they were good. I just don't know. Next up is a brand that I'm definitely going to be doing a full face of. I recently did a full face of Essence Cosmetics. I did a massive Essence haul. If you wanted to see that, I will leave it linked up in the cards. But my next maybe little full face of maybe Primark. So I have tried Primark makeup before, but I've never done a full face. However, I'm intrigued because it is so cheap. Things there are like £2, which mind-boggling. But also I found that some of them are really, really good quality as well. Their lashes are amazing. I'm obsessed with their lashes. They do really cheap fake nails. I do go to the salon now, so I don't really need fake nails, but I used to wear their fake nails all the time. But I'm really intrigued because the last time I tried Primark makeup was years ago, so I really want to know, is it still good? Are there some gems? Are there some absolute flops? I don't know. So I am actually in a little bit of a bigger town on Saturday. That is where I teach musical theatre. And hopefully I can pop into Primark after I finish work and maybe pick up a few things. So if you're interested in a full face of Primark, definitely let me know down below because I think I'm going to do that. So stay tuned. But again, if there's something that I really need to steer clear of, help me out. Help me out, please. Okay, next is a brand I've heard very mixed reviews about, and that is the reason why I've never tried them. This is Nomad Cosmetics. Now, was it Fantasy Europe collection came out recently, and I mean that, not really my makeup taste, but they do have some really nice grungy palettes, which I've fallen in love with. However, I've heard very mixed things about their quality. Some people really love it, some people really don't. So I'm like holding off a bit. I don't really know what to do because, again, I think it is an American brand. So to get it shipped to the UK is going to be so expensive. And if I'm going to have that shipped and pay all that money for shipping and taxes, it better be good. It better be good. So that risk for me is like major. I don't know. I know that it's a really popular brand with like small influencers and things like that. But I don't know, I've just seen a lot of their palettes come out recently and they've kind of caught my eye a little bit, but I've heard that their shimmers get really bad hard pan really, really quickly and that they're a bit firm and they're not, I don't know, I've heard very mixed things. I don't know about their mattes. Are their mattes pigmented? I don't know, let me know down below. But they've come out with really beautiful color stories and like, I think it was the Haunted Europe palette. That was so stunning. That really grabbed my attention and made me stop and go, ooh. I don't think they're that expensive either. They are more kind of mid to low range of indie. So I don't know. This is like a risky one for me. This is one that I'm really sat here thinking, do I or don't I? Do I take the risk? Don't I take the risk? Who knows? But maybe in 2025, I'll have to take that risk. All right, let's move on to the 7th brand that I really want to try in 2025. And again, I have got a few little bits and bobs from this brand, but not many. This is Catrice. Now, my wonderful friend Marley actually introduced me to Catrice. We did a makeup swap. So I sent her all my favorite products and she sent me all her favorite products, but it was like random and we didn't know what we were going to get, kind of like mystery boxes. And she sent a bunch of Catrice and I really love probably like 90% of the things that she sent me, and I really want to try more because Catrice is kind of like Essence, and I did again do a full face of Essence and I think I loved everything in that haul. Was there anything that I didn't like? No, I don't think so. I really loved everything. So Catrice, I'm thinking is going to be the same, right? It's really good quality stuff for next to nothing. So again, maybe a full face of Catrice needs to be on my list for my next like full face of series because I know you guys really loved the Essence one. So if you want to see a Catrice one, let me know. I would definitely be interested in doing that. The things from Catrice that I have tried, I really enjoy. I've tried their like Space Glam eyeshadows, I think they are. They're like duochrome ones and they are amazing. I think they're like £2. Like, some of their lip products are some of my favorites as well, and I just really enjoy that. I've spoken so much before about the fact that I hate that makeup now costs a small mortgage to buy, and the brands like Catrice and Essence and e.l.f. and all these kind of like true drugstore brands that have stuck to being drugstore brands. I'm so grateful for them because Girl, like £60 for a plastic crappy packaging, I'm not paying that. So I really, really am grateful for the true drugstore brands, the ones that have kept drugstore, they've not got greedy. It is so easy for these brands to just go running off and put a 10% price hike on their products, because I mean, people will pay it because they are really good products. So Catrice, from what I have seen, I'm really intrigued about, so maybe I'll splurge a little bit, do a little bit of a full face. I don't know. Also, little side note, if there is a brand not on this list or one that I don't mention that you really want me to do a full face of, let me know down below as well, because I'm definitely intrigued to see what brands you want me to try. Okay, at number 8, we have What's Up Beauty. Now, ever since they came out with the, was it Serengeti highlights? I've been obsessed. I love anything like Savannah and Africa and anything like that. I do have Oliver in my background here. I wanted that so bad. And ever since then, I've really been eyeing up this brand because I want to know more. They really speak to me with that whole packaging and that whole presentation. I know that their eyeshadow palettes look insane as well. They had like a dinosaur one. It's all about kind of like animals. That's the vibe I've got anyway. But like cool. It's like cool, indie. I just love the whole presentation of this brand. I find it so intriguing. And I really don't hear that much about What's Up Beauty. I heard a lot about those Serengeti highlights, but I mean, rightfully so, because they were absolutely stunning. But I've not heard that much about their other products, so I'm definitely very intrigued. This again is kind of like a mystery brand. Like, I don't know. Am I intrigued because of the mystery and the fact that I don't really know much about them? Or am I intrigued because, like, I genuinely want to try them, you know? I don't know. But I honestly think that even if, like, the quality of the products are really, really bad, I'd probably just sit there and look at them and just be like, it's so pretty, it's so beautiful. But I know that is not the point of makeup. That is not the point of makeup. I can't give things good reviews because they look so pretty. I can't. But it's definitely a brand that is on my little radar. I'm definitely keeping my eye out on them. I really want them to release an eyeshadow palette. I don't think they've released an eyeshadow palette recently. I think it's been more base and cheek products, but I really am intrigued. At number 9 now, we have a brand that I have actually tried before. I've made one order from this brand and this was like years ago. This is NBA Cosmetics. Now, I bought it was a Halloween collection of single eyeshadows. And this was like 2 years ago now, and I really, really love them. They are in my single eyeshadows collection. However, they have come out with a bunch of palettes, and more specifically, I want to try the Cursed Moon palette. When that came out, when I say I gasped, this is me in a palette. These like grungy blues, and then there's like this pop of yellow in there as well. Are you kidding me? That looks absolutely gorgeous. I need that palette. I already know that I love the quality of the shades. That is, if the quality hasn't changed since I last used them. But these swatches look insane. They look sparkly, glittery, shimmery, gorgeous. A lot of their color stories look so nice. There are a lot of palettes on their website. It is a little bit overwhelming. That is something that I will say. It's a bit like, whew, I don't quite know what to pick here because there is everything under the sun, and I'm a little bit, yeah, you know what I'm trying to say. It's a little bit overwhelming. So yeah, I think their newer releases like the Cursed Moon is an absolute staple for me. I really wish I'd have bought that palette when it first released because I would have loved to have done a review on it. But I think they are American as well, so it would have taken a lot of time for it to get to me, and it would have taken a lot of money to get to me as well, because those taxes are not cheap. But it's definitely a brand that I really have my eye on, and I really, really wish that I'd have bought that palette when it came out, but unfortunately, it's gonna have to go in the pile of unrequited lovers. But let me know if you've tried any of their recent products, because again, I'm very, very intrigued, and even all their marketing looks absolutely beautiful. So yeah, no one really speaks about these ones either, and I really think that they deserve more love, especially from what I've seen and what I've used myself, but hopefully in 2025 I'll be able to maybe do a few reviews on their palettes. That would be amazing, and let me know if you want to see that. And finally, at number 10 is Gourmand Girls. I've heard so much about this brand, and I think their Starry Night palette, is that what it's called? It's got like blues and yellows in it. I mean, shocker, after we've just spoke about the Curse Moon palette, very similar vibes, but these kind of palettes are absolutely up my street. I've seen swatches of them as well, and oh my goodness me, I just want to cry. I just want to cry. They look so good and so pretty. I just want to use all of them all the time. I know I can't, but I really want to. These are more on the expensive side, I'm pretty sure. These are a little bit more of a splurge, which has definitely stopped me from buying them, but I can definitely admire from afar, and they are definitely on my list to maybe have a look into this year. I don't know if I will. This is like the only brand on this list that I am a bit like, I don't know, maybe I will, maybe I won't, but I really wanted to come on here with 10 because I don't know, I'm just a bit pedantic, I guess, and I want 10. It's a brand that I feel like I'm kind of experiencing FOMO over. Every time someone mentions this brand, there's just something in my brain that kind of starts niggling and that I really, really want to try. But I don't know if it is just FOMO or if I'm actually really wanting to try and experience this brand's formula. I don't know. You guys are going to have to let me know if you've tried this brand. Is it truly worth it? Is it truly worth me spending so much money on taxes and shipping? Because that's the issue. It's not just the price of the palette. It's then like doubled, and it's really, really annoying. But here I am on this little island, hoping and praying. So this is it. This is the end of this video, guys. I hope you did enjoy it. Is there anything on my list that you also really want to try? Maybe stay tuned, because hopefully I'll be trying these brands in the future and I'll be giving you a cutthroat review. Is it truly worth it? Is it really not worth it? I don't know. We'll see. We'll have to see going on further into the year. What is a brand on this list that you really need me to try straight away? Because I would be very, very intrigued. If I do start trying these brands, of course, I will make videos. I will do looks. I will do looks on here and also on my Instagram as well. So definitely make sure you're following me there. That is caitlin.c_official. There's a bunch of close-up pictures of all of my makeup looks that I do. And also I do a lot of interactive content with you guys. So sometimes I'll do, testing your makeup hacks. I did that a few days ago, or you pick my makeup. All of that is over on Instagram. So if you're interested in being part of a video, definitely check me out over there as well. But this is it. This is where I'm gonna love you and leave you for today, guys. I hope you have an incredible day, and I will see you tomorrow for a brand new video. Bye bye.